question on your mind, then Brian's gonna find the answer with you. He'll answer it for you, and you. Just ask anything that's in your head. Tell him everything he'd like to know. If it's good, then you better ask Brian the bunny rabbit.
Hey, howdy, hey, welcome to You'd Better Ask Brian, where I, Brian the bunny rabbit, will be answering your new questions. The first 5 questions this week come from Callum Riley. Q1. Have you heard of the DIC Entertainment versions of What a Mess and Trolls? Yes, I have actually. There was also a Trolls movie that was released on DVD by BBC Video, funnily enough. Questions 2 and 3. What's your favorite episode of Horseland and Dexter's Laboratory? I don't know really, but I do remember them like I said. Q4. Do you like QBs? Why yes, of course. There are a few bits and pieces of the official website available to see, as well as an official YouTube channel with plenty of episodes. And yes, I remember it was shown on GMTV, Nick Jr., and Channel 4. And Q5. Have you got that Jellikins CD yet? No, unfortunately, but I will get it soon. Fun fact, both Jellikins and QBs were done by the same animation company, Optical Image. The next 4 questions come from Ben Freeman. Q1, which series of Thomas and Friends do you prefer? Classic, or CGI? That's a hard question, because they're both good eras. Apart from the first 4 seasons of the CGI era, I like them both. Q2. Who are your favorite characters from Wilder Nuts? I don't watch the program, however I do think Touchy and Captain Quilty were pretty nice, so I'll go for them. Q3. Do you like Little Princess? I like the books and the TV series, as well as the 2 Anytime tales featuring Little Princess, which are I Want My Potty, and Little Princess's Bedtime. The TV series is still airing on Channel 5's Milkshake. However, it's now shown very early at 6 a.m. And Q4. Who are your favorite characters from McDonald's Farm? I like all the characters, but my favorite characters are Woof Woof, Quack Quack, and the Oink twins, Oink and Oinky. Ben Brian has 3 questions for me to answer now. Q1. Have you seen the new Crystal Maze with Richard Ayoade? Yes, I have. That was pretty good. Q2. Did you know that Dave Benson Phillips did the voice of Big Blue in a PlayStation 2 game called Smarty's Meltdown? Yes, I did actually, and that was also mentioned on Dave's most recent interview in the Big Daily. Smarty's Meltdown was also developed and released by Europress. And Q3. Who's your favorite game show host? I have many favorites including Bruce Forsyth, Michael Barrymore, Dale Winton, Alexander Armstrong, Richard Osman, Bradley Walsh and many more. Next we get 2 questions from Simpsons Clips 24. Q1. Do you have a favorite episode of the Powerpuff Girls? I don't know, but here's a fun fact. Powerpuff Girls was not only on Cartoon Network, but was also on Channel 5's Milkshake during the late 90s and early 2000s, back when the block used to be for all ages and not just preschoolers. And Q2, did you enjoy Saturday Mashup last year? If so, are you looking forward to the next series this year? I think I may have enjoyed it, thank you very much, and it's nice to hear that it's coming back for a second series. Saturday mornings have come back on BBC Two for real this time. Now we have 3 questions from Sophie Hansel. Q1. Do you have a favorite Yellow Submarine character? All the Beatles and Old Fred. Q2. Do you have a favorite Booba character? I like all the Boobas, and my favorite story people are Grandpapa, Mr. Man, and Brother and Sister. And Q3. Do you find Barney annoying? No, I don't think so. He's alright. Daniel Russell asks, what's your favorite episode of Bump the Elephant? Probably Bump's Loud Song, because that's the first ever episode I can remember seeing. I also like Bump's Christmas Story as well, because it's an extended Christmas special that lasts for 10 minutes. Next we get 3 more questions from NTV Studios. Q1, what do you think of the 2007 series of Emu? I think it's alright. Q2, what CITV programs do you know that's on that nobody else remembers? I know a lot of classic CITV programs like The Parkees, Tickety Boo, Gillish All Sorts, Big Bag UK, Ozzy the Owl, Sunny Side Up, Transylvania Pet Shop, Phantom Cat, and many more. And Q3, what TV program used to scare me? There were some strange things that used to scare me with children's programs, like the Singing Man in the Magic House from the Teletubbies and those shadow puppets used in Bear in the Big Blue House, or that clock scene in Mopper-Top's shop. It's been very strange. Neslover94 asks, have you ever heard of the Odd Squad? Yes, I have, although I don't watch it. It's on CBBC by the way. Now we get 4 questions from Erin Man. Q1, have you noticed that KFC is forced to close down some of their restaurants because they've run out of chicken? Yes, I have. It's a chicken catastrophe. Q2, have you heard the bad news about Toys R Us last year? Yes, I have. I think they actually filed for bankruptcy or something. Q3, would you wish if Sesame Street was back on Cartoonito with new episodes? Probably. And Q4, which video game would you review on TV Burp next? Erin, you didn't realize that I don't want to review video games on TV Burp anymore. I would rather get on with some of the other programs. Sorry about that. The last set of 5 questions come from Wilder Wonka. Q1, whatever happened to the hit parade on DIC Entertainment's DVDs? Well, back when they had their new logo in 2007, which they still use today, they decided not to have the hit parade on their DVDs anymore. Previews of other DVDs can be seen at the start of a DVD, or as a special feature instead. Q2, who's your favorite Mighty Morphin Power Rangers character and do you remember seeing it on GMTV? Never had done, but I think I quite like the Red Power Ranger, because red is my favorite color. I also quite like Alpha 5 as well, who says, I. I've also got Power Rangers on VHS, and this is the only volume I have. Q3, do you agree with me that Wimpole Village is the worst children's program ever made? I don't know about that. To me, I think most people have remembered this by owning the videos or any of Tempo Video's compilations. The reason why Wilder Wonka thinks it's the worst is because he thinks the animation is choppy, every episode is a life is perfect situation, the characters aren't memorable, and they almost always have a fixed smile on their faces, and everyone including the narrator never went on to do anything else. Also, he thinks the character Major Stickwilder is clearly a rip-off of Station Officer Steele. If I agree with him, will I demonstrate how bad it is if I feature it on TV Burp when it returns? We'll see about that. Q4, did the intro and end credits theme from Pablo the Little Red Fox make you cry? Luckily it didn't, thank goodness. And Q5, do you agree with me that CBeebies died in 2009, and do you know when was the last day that Chris Jarvis and Poi Fan Lee presented? I don't know about that, but what I can tell you is, I think Chris and Poi left CBeebies presentation in probably very early January 2009. That's all we've got time for in this episode of You'd Better Ask Brian, so I'll be hopping off. And I'll hopefully see you guys again next week for the grand finale. Cheerio.
Brian the Bunny Rabbit.